But going from that, something on Twitter happened pertaining to you, and it was something where you were talking about Naomi and Sasha, and I'm gonna make sure that I say his name correctly. JC Big Bambino 95 said, if you had a Ferrari, so what the original, I definitely wanted to make sure. So what was your original tweet?
Okay, so pretty sure everyone saw the convention, you know. The timeline was definitely all over the place when Sasha and Naomi came out, and I kind of predicted that definitely the fake love was going to be exposed
Mm-hmm.
with how people claim that they support both Sasha and Naomi when in actuality they mainly care for Sasha. They only care about Naomi in relation to Sasha because
Right.
if you in this situation, considering that they both walked out, yeah, people will side eye you if you don't mention Naomi. She's kind of like just thrown in over there. So
Right.
I made that a point. I made that a point that I noticed that there wasn't that many Naomi photos. There was
Mm.
hundreds and hundreds of Sasha photos, you know, and if you saw a Naomi photo, it was mainly because it was Sasha with Naomi with the fan.
Right.
And then I had a fellow follower that decided to give an excellent take that I wanted to share. Um, I'm just gonna open it up right now. Just give me a moment. Got to scroll through all these DMs.
Golly.
Yeah, no,
That's a show within itself.
right, right. We'll be
That's
here
a
all day.
show within itself.
I stated, I'm gonna be honest, I barely see Naomi pics being shared today. The person has stated, because it's called colorism. Naomi is a goddess in my eyes, and I think Sasha is fine. But when you saw when they had tag team titles, they kept showing Sasha more because they always think us being lighter skinned is more marketable, which is in fact black of all shapes and colors are marketable overall because y'all are the most copy people ever. Of course, there's a little bit of typos in there,
Yeah.
but still, you get the point. That individual that Jordan just called out decided to say, and you can go ahead and read that off.
And he said, if you had a Ferrari and a pickup truck, which one would you take to the car show? Uh, Jesus. Do you want to go
Imagine
first?
comparing Naomi to a fucking pickup truck, son.
Right.
What? What? I just the whole tweet was to call out the colorism, and that's exactly what they just given me. It's just
Right.
like I get it. I get it in the sense that, you know, in terms of mainstream popularity, Sasha is up here, Naomi maybe like a few steps behind. But in terms of just like describing them physically and saying that one's a Ferrari, one's a pickup truck, Naomi's a fucking goddess.
Right.
She's the baddest bitch in the entire roster in the last decade. I put her up there with Jackie. And
And
Jackie was
Jackie
fine
was,
as hell.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. That comment had pissed me the fuck off. And it's just like Naomi constantly is getting shit on social media. Not just
Right.
social media, this in general. She gets shit
Right.
at her job with her placement and she works her ass off. She definitely got the look. She keeps up with herself. She's constantly inventing herself over and over again. We have seen many gimmick changes with Naomi that all stuck with the crowd. And in her moveset, she's constantly always evolving with her moveset. She puts in the work, and in terms of how she gets booked, she gets booked either again like an afterthought or like any other mid carder.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I know that she holds her tongue. She holds her tongue because of shit like this. She's aware. She's
Yo,
aware how the
dog.
system works. How, yeah, typically if you're a lighter skin or if you have more European like features, yeah, you're more likely to be marketable to the whites. Okay. And I know she holds her tongue. She holds her
Yeah.
tongue between that and the people on the internet comparing her to a fucking gorilla. And
Yeah.
that shit gets me pissed off because it's just like she's a beautiful, all natural woman that takes care of herself. She don't bother nobody. She's not problematic. Name one time Naomi has been problematic.
Never.
She
Never.
literally, I know she sees this shit because she engages with her fans all the time. She always does. You know what I mean? Like she's such a sweetheart, and she just absorbs everything, and she just moves on and moves forward. And that's the part that also pissed me off during this hiatus thing because everyone's more focused on just Sasha. What about Naomi? Because this bitch is always going through hell. She's
Always going
always going through hell.
always going through hell, and not to mention one of the most valuable people on the WWE roster. Not one of the most valuable women, not one of the most valuable men, one of the most valuable talents, period. The things that this woman has been able to accomplish over the past 10 years are astounding. This woman went from being cut from a WrestleMania 29 match to being the first Black woman to win a championship at WrestleMania. At WrestleMania, I believe it was 33. Like, one of the women who helped usher in this women's revolution by bringing Sasha on to Team Bad. And one of the most athletically gifted women, not to mention her Royal Rumble spots, not to mention the stuff that she's been able to do as a character and relate to women all over the world, to young Black women all over the world. When she had that Glow Championship, and there was like a trend online where women were doing her entrance, young Black girls doing her entrance, Naomi's impact is so valuable and yet so immeasurable, because so many young Black women before Sasha and after Sasha were able to look at Naomi and say, this is the woman that makes me want to love and relate to wrestling or even be a wrestler. So the fact that she is this valuable and she is still, disrespected at the rate and on the level that she's disrespected at is just super unfortunate. But I feel like this is one of the reasons why I love wrestling, is because it's such a microcosm of real life, because that's the story of Black women, how they're the most valuable, most valuable talents, most valuable employees, most valuable in their family, and they're constantly being in a position where they're being shit on. They're constantly being in a position where they're being disrespected, and it's unfortunate. And I feel like we got to do that now. I feel like we have to do better. Now, here's the reason why I have a problem with this reply, this tweet, more than anything. This is Big Bambino, dog. You Black. You a Black man, bro. Come on. We got to do better. As Black men, we have to do better in protecting Black women. Period. That's in WWE. That's in life. So I feel like there's some certain things you just need to, you either need to take it to God in prayer, or you need to just keep it in the drafts, brother. But I don't think that this is appropriate, because I feel like as Black men, we need to do our job and we need to protect Black women. And that includes when we come on Twitter and defend or talk about Black women who are talents in the WWE.
It's so selective who I just feel like no matter what the fuck Sasha's going through, everybody and their mama's jumping up at her. But when it comes to, again, Naomi specifically, the only time I ever seen people jump for her was when that hashtag was going on, that, Naomi deserves better. I just felt
right.
I just felt like everyone just saw that and thought, oh, okay, I want to partake in this too. And they made it a thing temporarily, and she never got that push that she needed. And I feel like if the roles were swapped and it was with Sasha, again, literally everybody would have been jumping on that hashtag, and it would have just been like a temporary thing that would have lasted for a couple weeks. It would have been like a year-round thing. Like every time. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'll go a little bit deeper than that. Yes, Naomi does deserve better, right? She deserves better. But part of the reason why she didn't get better is because of the same mindset that you have, right? It's the same mindset that you have, just in the white men backstage. Like, this whole, if you had a Ferrari and a pickup truck, there's men backstage in WWE who have that, yeah, she's the pickup truck. So, dog, the same mindset that you're carrying is what they're carrying. And that's the reason why Naomi hasn't gotten what she deserves, is because of mindsets like that and ignorance like that.
Colorism.
Yeah, colorism. But I was going to say, keep going, because I didn't want to cut you off.
Nah. It just got me annoyed, just because, again, like, Sasha has taken multiple hiatuses and stuff like that. And even if she's on screen and she is in a title picture, she's not in the title picture, whatever, people are defending her night and day. Like, her followers do not stop.
That's
and
a fact.
the actual, like, the true Naomi supporters are just like a small group that so small that I barely see them on the timeline. Like, I know that they're there because, like, I've seen some of them are my followers, but, like, the actual group of actual supporters that fight for Naomi is just so small. And it's just like, it just infuriates me, because everyone's so selective in terms of when they want to fight for Black women. Everyone always wants to say protect Black women, Black women. Y'all pick and choose which ones you want to fight for. If you're going to say that, stand on it.
Right.
Like, stand on it.
And don't just pick the ones that you like.
Yes, and I just feel like it's at a point where again, this is probably the first time Naomi actually reacted, and maybe we don't know what went behind those closed doors. If it was something that Sasha did and she just followed through, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
Naomi did get fed up, and maybe because Sasha was in her backing, like she felt the need to walk out too. But I just feel like she just harvests all this emotion, and she's gotten probably so used to it, she just accepts that this is the way of life. And I would not want for her to feel that way. It actually pains me to think about it the more I just like deep dive into it, that it's really at this point that she just accepts that this is just how the world is, and the world shouldn't be like
It
this.
shouldn't
Like,
be like that.
as
It shouldn't
with
be
the
like that
amount
at
of
all.
events that we had occurred and the knowledge that we have and stuff like that, man, like it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be 2022 and we're still trying to fight for the rights of dark skinned women. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? I
Now,
just
and that's a whole thing. We can go deep into that, but I
Oh,
think
we
that
can
we
be here for
can,
another hour.
yeah, literally.